Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever looked out at your backyard and felt like it was, well, a bit of a blank canvas?
Oh, I think we've all been there.
Right. Or maybe it's a bit of a mess and you have no idea where to start. We all want that magazine-worthy outdoor space, but hiring a professional landscaping company can cost a small fortune.
Yeah, it really can. People assume a beautiful yard is this luxury product you have to buy from an expert.
Exactly. Well, today we're diving into a game changer. We are doing a deep dive into the source material, Landscaping for Beginners by Andrew J. Walls.
Which is such a fantastic guide.
It really is. This
Yeah.
book is a literal step-by-step guide to turning your yard into a beautiful natural landscape all by yourself. Whether you want a stunning patio for summer cookouts or a peaceful garden to escape to, this is your starting point. Let's break down how you can reclaim your yard without breaking the bank.
And I think what's so great about Wall's approach is that it's not just about saving money. It's really about empowerment. It's about intentionally designing a space that fits your exact needs and your specific environment.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because the biggest mistake people make, and we all do it, is buying plants before they have a plan.
Oh, absolutely. It's the absolute biggest mistake a beginner can make. We naturally want to jump straight into the fun part.
Yeah, the dopamine hit of buying pretty flowers.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But Wall says you have to start with the land itself. He suggests starting with a simple notebook and drawing a map of your yard to scale.
Which sounds like homework, but it's so important. You need to mark down the permanent structures, your house, your driveway, even that old tool shed in the corner.
Yeah, because those structures create microenvironments. But here's the pro tip. You have to take notes on the environmental conditions.
Right, like where the sun hits.
Yes, track the sunlight, map out any steep slopes. And you really need to identify areas where water naturally pools after a rainstorm.
That is so crucial. By mapping these out, you avoid the snags later, like putting a sun-loving flower in a permanent shadow or building a patio where the ground naturally shifts.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, mapping prevents disastrous, expensive mistakes. You're learning the physics of your yard before you fight against them.
I mean, building a yard without a map is like going grocery shopping hungry and without a list.
That is a perfect way to put it.
You end up with a cart full of random things that don't go together, and you've wasted your money.
Completely. And once you have that map, you can actually start designing, which brings us to the layout itself.
Right. Now, let's talk terminology. Landscaping is basically a mix of two things, hardscapes and botanicals.
Yes, the two distinct categories that have to work in harmony.
Hardscapes are the bones of your yard, your walkways, walls, and patios. And the book explains how to actually physically do this, right? Like leveling the ground with a tamper.
Yeah, the tamper is key. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a heavy, flat steel plate on a pole.
Which sounds exhausting.
It is a lot of manual labor, I won't lie, but you use it to compact the soil and the gravel. Because if you just lay pavers on loose dirt, it's going to settle unevenly and become a tripping hazard.
Ah, that makes sense. So you use the tamper and pavers to create these unique custom designs.
Exactly, you're building the foundation.
So what does this all mean? If hardscapes are the bones of the yard, are botanicals basically the wardrobe we dress it in?
I love that analogy. Yes, the botanicals are the living elements, the trees, the shrubs, the flowers.
And there's a golden rule here, right?
A massive one. The key here is choosing native plants.
Which feels a little counterintuitive because everyone wants those crazy exotic plants from the garden center.
Right. But what's fascinating here is that native plants are just so much easier to care for. They naturally resist local struggles because they evolved to live exactly where you are.
So they thrive in your specific climate.
Exactly. They have deeper root systems, they need less watering, and they protect your local ecosystem.
And Walls even covers regional hardiness zones, right? So you know exactly what will survive a frost in Alaska versus a heat wave in Hawaii.
Yeah, it completely takes the guesswork out of the wardrobe, so to speak. You aren't wasting money on plants that are doomed to die in your winter.
Speaking of wasting money, let's get real about the budget. DIY landscaping is inherently cheaper than hiring pros, but materials still add up quickly.
They really do. Dirt and stone are heavy, and they are expensive.
So the book recommends creating a slush fund for each project.
Yes, a buffer budget,
Yeah.
because beginners universally underestimate volume.
I am so guilty of this. I love the idea of scavenging for free pavers, but let's be honest, who hasn't confidently bought 3 bags of mulch only to realize they actually needed 30?
It happens every single time.
Yeah.
Our brains just aren't good at visualizing cubic volume.
That slush fund is an absolute lifesaver. But here's where it gets really interesting. One of my favorite tips from the book is about salvaging
The
materials.
scavenging secrets.
Yes. Keep an eye on neighbors' construction projects or check with local manufacturers for raw material waste.
It's such a smart strategy. A lot of times, broken concrete or miscast stones actually cost those companies money to throw away.
Right, because of landfill weight fees. So you'd be surprised what you can get for free or very cheap if you just politely ask.
You're literally doing them a favor by hauling it away in your truck. And you get free materials for your retaining wall.
It's a total win-win. Okay, so we've mapped it, built the bones, planted the native wardrobe, and scavenged our materials. But a yard is a living thing.
It is. The work doesn't magically stop once the patio's down.
Exactly. Even the most perfect garden needs love. Walls walks you through the long-term maintenance essentials: weeding, pest control, and soil care.
But he approaches it in such a smart way. He focuses on strategic botanical defense.
Right, instead of just buying bug spray. He suggests using plants like marigolds or lavender to naturally repel pests.
Yeah, the marigolds protect the soil from root-destroying worms, and the lavender physically repels mosquitoes with its scent.
So you can actually enjoy your patio without being eaten alive. It's like setting up a smart home. You put in a little bit of strategic effort up front by planting lavender, and the yard practically does the mosquito swatting for you later.
That's the ultimate philosophy of the book. You are creating a space that works for you,
Yeah.
rather than a space that creates endless weekend chores.
Nobody wants to spend their whole Saturday weeding.
No, they don't. And Walls even includes detailed tool lists and small-scale ideas for tiny yards.
Oh, right. So this isn't just for massive suburban lawns.
Not at all. No space is too small for this method. You can apply these exact same principles to a tiny urban courtyard.
I love that. So to summarize all of this for you listening at home, you can completely transform your space from a messy blank canvas to a planned, budgeted, and naturally maintained sanctuary.
The power to transform your space is literally in your hands and, your notebook.
Yes, never forget the notebook.
But this raises an important question that I think we should leave people with.
Oh, hit me.
If planting native botanicals and natural pest repellents makes our individual yards self-sustaining, how much does the nature we choose to cultivate in our own tiny backyards ripple out? Like, how much does it shape and support the wider local ecosystem around our entire neighborhoods?
Wow. That is such a cool way to look at it. You aren't just building a patio, you're like rebuilding a piece of the local environment.
Exactly. It's all connected.
Well, if you are ready to stop dreaming and start digging, you need the full guide. I've barely scratched the surface of what's in this book. You can download the complete copy of Landscaping for Beginners by clicking the link in the description below. It's got everything we talked about today and so much more.
Highly recommend checking it out.
And hey, if this video helped you get inspired, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more home improvement tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you